Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for joining me today. First up, the Fort Wayne Urban League joins me in studio to share about their organization and their upcoming Sneaker Ball Gala taking place in a couple of weeks. Then CitiLink is here to share about how they provide resources to the community to get around town. Anytime you need to get from one place to another, CitiLink provides that transportation. And then it's Money Monday with Foster Financial. And today we're discussing misconceptions about business deductions. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
The Fort Wayne Urban League is a nonprofit organization that helps underserved urban residents to secure economic self-reliance, power, and civil rights. And next month, they are throwing their second annual Sneaker Ball Gala on September 6th. And here to tell us all about it is the Urban League President and CEO, Aisha Arrington. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Okay, so year two.
Yes.
Super excited about the Sneaker Ball. I'm excited to be back emceeing it for you guys. Yes. And so let's just kind of kick off a little bit about the Urban League before we roll into the ball, in case someone is just really learning more about your organization.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and we're so excited that you're going to be emceeing our event. But Fort Wayne Urban League, believe it or not, has been in the community since 1920. Wow. So that's over 100 years. We are one of 92 other urban leagues across the country, all affiliates that work under the umbrella of the National Urban League. So we all began right during the Great Migration, when you had Black people fleeing that Jim Crow South, coming to northern states looking for jobs, housing, education opportunities. And unfortunately, 100 or so years later, a lot of those services are still very much needed. Urban League, our logo, we have the little equal sign, and it's just really to remind people that all of our work and our mission really is about getting everyone to have equal opportunities to live that American dream that we all have.
And I love what you said. It is still so needed, even after so long. And so tell me about how the organization really helps the community in a more tangible way, like some of your programs and initiatives throughout the year.
Sure. Well, Urban League sits on a campus with Bright Point and the Pontiac Branch Library, and we're right there in the middle. But we really work as a community hub. So Biggs Property is within our building. Martin Luther King Club is within our building. We also are having a partnership with Girl Scouts so that we can have Girl Scout troops running out of the Fort Wayne Urban League building. But as that community hub, people can call us with any of their needs. We do thousands of information and referrals yearly. So people will call us with any kind of need, and we help direct them. We have an emergency food pantry there that can help folks. Right there in that 46803, it's the poorest zip code in the county. So there's great need. So we're happy to be there and serve the community in all the ways that we can. Education is always a very important pillar. We have an after-school program with a focus on reading. We have senior techie programs where seniors can sign up to learn how to work a tablet and learn all about the digital world. We partner with Work One to have job fairs offering job opportunities to folks living in our area. Just so many things that Urban League does to really uplift people. And then we also have that social justice lens. Last summer, we lost a young man through a police shooting, and Fort Wayne Urban League responded with a solution. We worked with Fort Wayne Police Department, developed protocols to educate our youth about what to do if they're ever stopped by the police. And so we have Breaking Bread nights where we encourage youth to come out to the Urban League. We'll pay them $25 for the training, but they leave understanding what to do if they're ever pulled over by the police. And then we're giving them other information about college opportunities and entrepreneurship opportunities, anything to inspire them for their future.
Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, that's really great. And so this big event that's happening, the Sneaker Ball, is a good fundraiser, right, for you all, because you are a nonprofit organization. And so raising the funds to be able to execute your initiatives are so important, but in such a fun way. So tell us about the Sneaker Ball.
Well, it is our second annual Equality for All Sneaker Ball, and the committee has worked really hard to make this a community inclusive event. So yes, it's about raising dollars for the Urban League and our mission, but it's also about uplifting our community members. So we have people that are running for Sneaker Ball King and Queen. Mary Lanier, Chief Conjure Ridley, Keon Brooks Sr., and George Guy are all on that ballot, and they're raising money for different programs that the Urban League operates. So we encourage everyone to vote for your Sneaker Ball King or Queen, because they'll be crowned that night. We also work with area artists to paint sneakers to help promote them. And so in front of us, we've got 2 pairs of sneakers. These were painted by a local artist named Ron Lewis, and these were painted by a local artist named David McClung. And these sneakers are going on tour all around this great city, popping up. And so we encourage people to follow them on our social media sites leading up to the Urban League.
I love it. These are so creative. I mean, just to think the texture and just the detail in this sneaker, and it looks so good.
Oh, they're so cool. They're so cool.
Dr. Martin Luther King on the back.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
that. So when people come, they can find out more information about the artist and just really how you plan to continue to partner with them, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's a fun night. I mean, everybody probably says that about their fundraising events, and it is fundraising, I have to say that, but it's fundraising because you're really going to have a great time. We've got DJ Crazy K there, so you can dance the night away with him. We'll be crowning that Sneaker Ball King and Queen. We'll be voting on Best Sneaker Ball Reel of the Year. So there are 2 reels out there that hopefully the community has seen. We've got Joe Jordan with his walkthrough crew, and then you've got myself and my milkshake ladies, and so we're going against each other to see who's going to win. Women won last year, and so we're trying to hold on to that title. But it's a lot of fun.
Yes, and so we have to talk about the apparel, because I mean, it's like it's a sneaker ball. Like, what type of opportunity do people really have to go to a gala and not have to wear heels? Women, we don't have to wear heels. We can be comfortable in whatever shoe, sneaker of choice, and pairing it with a nice, still a formal dress. Correct?
Yes. So I've got it down pat. I have pressure from my teenager to buy Jordans, which I refuse to buy because that's a mom on a budget, right?
Right.
But you're going to dress in that fancy dress, and you're going to gussy up with your hair and your makeup, but then you're going to put on sneakers. So that means you can run around all night looking beautiful and not have to worry about your feet. We also partnered with Jilly Lee, and she is a lady that has her own business that bedazzles Converse sneakers.
Nice.
She became famous really when she did Oprah sneakers in all purple.
Wow.
And so we've worked with her. So if you're a lady and you need some bedazzled sneakers, check out Jilly Lee, because she's doing that here locally. But find some sneakers that you like that are appropriate for your outfit, and come on out and show us your fashion.
Yes, and I have to tell you all, we danced the night away last year. Oh my goodness, because you can dance longer without the heels. You don't have to pop off your shoes. So it's such a fun event. How much are tickets? Where can people go purchase the tickets?
So tickets are $75. There are still some sponsorship opportunities for any businesses out there that want to help support us. But all you have to do is go out to fwul.org. You can purchase this ticket, you can vote for your king and queen, and find out all the information that you need about Sneaker Ball this year.
Okay, awesome. Well, I can't wait. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Thank you for coming in, Aisha.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, guys, if you want more information about the Sneaker Ball Gala by the Urban League that's taking place on September 6th, we'll have their website listed below. Get your tickets now before they sell out. It's been so buzzing, so I know that they're going to sell out soon. So go ahead and secure that, and I will see you at the gala.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
This segment sponsored by CitiLink. CitiLink is our city's bus system, which operates state-of-the-art buses on more than a dozen routes connecting many parts of the metro area to downtown. Now, on September 9th, they are having a Building Better Mobility event. This is an open house, and it is open to the community. So joining me today is Jill Kreider, their marketing specialist. Hello, Jill.
Good morning.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good. Okay, so this is fascinating, right? You all are doing like like a community event that really will educate and kind of
Yes.
bring people into learning more about CitiLink.
Yeah.
So let's start just from the top in case people are not familiar with Fort Wayne's bus system.
Yeah. So CitiLink is Fort Wayne's public transportation corporation. We have big buses, which are our fixed route buses. So they operate on a hub and spoke model. So everything always ends up at our central station, which is on Baker Street. And we also operate paratransit buses, which helps our people with disabilities in the community be able to get the access to the services that they all need as well. So we are our public transit here. We're making sure that everybody can be linked to life.
Right. And so one thing that I love is that if you see a CitiLink bus, then you're going to see artwork.
Yes.
You're going to see it just being decorated, and you keep that pretty local, right? So let's talk about that aspect.
Yeah, so we have a few buses. So all of our buses can have local advertisers on them, but we have a few very special buses here in the city. Most people know our Rosa Parks bus, which was designed by Fresh Laundry. And my personal favorite right now is we actually have a train bus that actually has a train horn installed on it. So our drivers can literally honk a train horn at you when they're out at Central Station. And everybody gets a kick out of that one. So you can definitely see us out on the roads, but you can also see us at a ton of community events with those buses as well.
Okay, awesome. And so let's talk about this event that's coming up. So it's an open house. So first, who is this event for?
So this event is open to everybody in the public. This is for both non-riders and riders.
Okay.
And it's just a really fun kind of informal but really unique way for us to connect with our community and kind of teach people the value of public transit, why it's so important to our community, and why being able to connect everybody is so critical to the fabric of who we are.
Yeah, it is so important for people to have that mobility, to get around town, to get handled what they need to get to work, right?
Yeah.
It can be debilitating if you do not have that type of access. Okay, so they get to learn more about your organization, but you're going to have a speaker. So who will be speaking at this event?
So our speaker is a woman. Her name is Anna Zieverts. She coined the term non-driver, but she is a person with a visual impairment, and she's not been able to drive her entire life, but her speeches are known throughout the country. She also speaks a lot during our Week Without Driving events, which are in September, which is part of this week. But it's kind of a way to see things through a different lens. So people can learn from somebody who has a lived experience of what it's like to not be able to drive and not have that access, and what public transit has meant to her throughout her life. And she's helping to kind of empower people to use public transit to go out there and still live.
Right, that is powerful. Like you said, a different lens. And so what can people expect just full on from the event? So is there a cost to get in?
Nope, the event is absolutely free to the public. The really cool thing is that the next day we're actually going to be hosting another event in that space, but that's going to be for like local community leaders and even some of our local and state legislators, so they can also learn the value of public transit in our community. So we're really keeping everything inclusive and having everybody in that same space together, which we think is really fun. Another really cool thing about this event is that we've actually have it set to be at Parkview Field. And the reason why that's so important is it's actually a walkable distance from our central station. So our bus riders, if they want to come to the event, they can literally ride the bus down to Central Station, walk or use their mobility devices to get over to Parkview Field, and then by the time the event's over, they can literally go back and then we'll catch the last lineup out of Central Station to go home for the night.
Yes, and it's at the Lincoln Event Center, and so in case people don't know, it's located just right on the corridor, really, of the Parkview, and that's a really nice space that they can enjoy and experience. And you're gonna have food.
We're gonna have some snacks. We're gonna have some CitiLink swag, and people can actually be entered to win a special CitiLink swag package, which are some really cool, like, fun items that people haven't seen from us before. But it's also a really unique and fun way for people to connect with each other. People who are non-riders are going to be able to learn from riders what it's like to be on the bus. If they want to walk down to Central Station and see what being on a bus is like, they can do that and see what Central Station looks like. But it's also going to have our leadership team available to people for people to come and ask questions and just connect with and learn on really just a human level with each other what transit means to all of us.
Yeah, I love that. Well, best of luck.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you there.
Yes, well, thank you so much for sharing more about it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
And if you would like more information about CitiLink or their event called Building Better Mobility, it's taking place on September 9th. We'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by CitiLink. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. It's time for Money Monday with Foster Financial, which is a great day to really learn more about your finances and investment options and different things in the finance industry. And joining me today is Caleb Doan, who is the Vice President of Foster Financial. Hey there, Caleb.
Hey.
Okay, so we've talked before about misconceptions that people may have in finance. And I think it's very interesting because it kind of lets people think and kind of like get a question answer that they may have been thinking about.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about business deductions today. So what would you say would be the biggest misconception that someone has in that area?
Yeah, we see, this is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that we see, maybe outside of the tax brackets, which we had talked about at one point. But with business deductions specifically, with self-employed people, and especially recently self-employed people, they think, hey, if it's a business expense and I get to deduct it on my taxes, then it's free. You know, I don't have to worry about the expense. Maybe I'm spending a little bit of money here, but it's a deduction. We don't have to worry about it. It's okay if I'm a little looser with my money when it comes to the business side of things. And that's definitely a big misconception that we'd like to kind of nip in the bud early when somebody is self-employed.
Yeah, because it is funny because because I've done like self-employment taxes before for myself, and when you get to that little category, it really isn't a big chunk that comes out that you get to deduct compared to what you paid for it. So this is so good, but you wouldn't know that before you actually did it or had someone do your taxes, right? And so what do you think is a good way for people to really gauge how to best manage their purchases if this actually is implied this way? Yeah.
I mean, a good way to think about it is that if you're in, let's say, the 22% tax bracket, federal income tax bracket, you have to spend $1,000 on some business expense. You're buying a new piece of technology or whatever it might be. You're only getting to deduct, I mean, you get to deduct $1,000 off your taxes or off your taxable income, but it's only reducing your taxes by $220, right? Because, 22% of $1,000, $220, you're still out the other $780 that you spent on that thing. And so if it was a necessary purchase, then great. You still get that $220 reduction in the taxes that you owe, which is great to have, but at the same time, you still spent money, your cash flow, still net is negative because of that. So, a common saying that people might hear is, don't spend $1 to save 20 cents, right? You're still losing on that transaction there. So for normal, necessary business expenses, obviously keep doing those things, and it's necessary for the business. But it doesn't give you a license just to be kind of frivolous with business expenses just because you get a deduction on that.
Yes, and I have actually witnessed this. People will be like, let's say you go out to eat or something. It's like, oh, it's fine. It's a business deduction. They're like paying for stuff. Oh, it's fine. And I'm like, I don't know if it's fine.
Right.
You know, it's like you're still paying for this out of your business.
Yeah.
And so what do you think would be one of those unnecessary purchases?
Yeah, I mean, a big one that we see is like luxury vehicles for businesses, and that's a very big ticket item too. So you're spending a lot on that, going out to eat and stuff. Hey, you're spending a few $100s, not a huge deal, unless you're doing it every week. But yeah, buying a really luxury vehicle for someone who's self-employed when you maybe don't need that type of a vehicle is a big thing. And there's extra deductions or kind of what they call like accelerated depreciation for vehicles specifically. So there is extra tax benefits for those for self-employed people, but still it ends up being a really big expense. Even if you get a deduction on that, it's still a big expense. You'd oftentimes be better off paying, a lower amount for a more reasonable vehicle. Even if the deduction is a little bit less, net, you're still going to end up better than what you would with a big luxury vehicle.
Yeah, you got to treat your business like you do your personal finances and not overspend.
Right.
And so do you see this misconception happening more with people who do their own taxes or people who have a CPA doing their business taxes?
Honestly, it's both. Yeah. And sometimes I think CPAs will try to get the point across too a little bit with their folks, so maybe it's a little less common there. But a lot of times when people are self-employed, they are using a CPA because it can just get difficult to do a lot of these different tax filings that they have. But yeah, it's a good idea to apply those same due diligence and everything like that you do in your personal life to some of those business expenses, and understand just because it's a deduction doesn't mean it's coming out completely free. A lot of times I'll tell people, think about that you're getting a little bit of a discount on it, about the same as what your tax rate is. So hey, if I'm in the 22%, I'm getting about a 22% sale or kind of discount on this thing, but we're still spending money. And so still kind of judge everything with the necessary precaution when you have those business expenses.
Yeah, and also, what do you feel about the charitable side of business giving when it comes to the deduction? Does it come out the same way as a personal contribution to philanthropy?
It actually depends on like how the business is organized. So whether it's like a corporation and things like that. A lot of times with folks who are just self-employed, it's not going to come out of the business.
Yeah.
So you can't take like the standard deduction on your personal taxes if you're just self-employed, sole proprietor, and then also deduct charitable expenses from the business there too. So that is another common one that we'll see with people. Yeah. Obviously, the IRS has looked into all this stuff, so they're always trying to take out these loopholes.
Yeah.
Usually, they've thought about it, and so you want to make sure you're in compliance with all of these things.
Yeah, that's really good. So the biggest takeaway is be mindful with your spending, regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their website and their phone number listed below. Reach out to them, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.